Karen. I'm just back to do a little bit of share with you on a few things I've been working on, and I just was finishing up some projects, and I thought, well, I'll just come on and show you what I'm working on, and then show you a couple of the journals that I've been working on. I know that Siobhan has shown the tea bag holders, and I had actually bought them and was working on tea bag, these little tea bag pockets, and embellishing them and putting them in projects. I added some beads to the strings, and they're just white tea bag holders. They're about 2.5 inches with a 1/4 inch stitching on each side, so you have about a 2-inch pocket to work with. This one I have finished. I just glued a piece of a napkin on there and a little bit of trim and some little blings, and then I made a little card, journaling card, to go inside. These are really cute. You can also, when you put it into your journal, you can just glue it on this side and the bottom, and you can also make it as a tuck as well, so something else can tuck in there as well. And then you, depending on how you want to put it, but this one I would mount on a page on this side, so these little beads would dangle out the side of the journal as well. So they're really cute. So I'm just finishing, or just working on this one, and what I've done is I have had a couple of these mats, non-stick mat. So I cut a piece to fit inside of here, because when you're working on this, if you don't put something inside, whether it be, you know, your non-stick spatula as you're working, or a piece of a mat or something, acetate can work too, you're going to end up gluing your little bag closed. So you want to make sure that you put something in there. This one I'm glued on a little piece of this napkin with a bit of lilac on it, and I had an older doily that I cut up, that I put a little piece on here, and some threads that I just wound around, and put a little heart bling on there to hold them all in place. And then I think with this one I'm just going to finish it up with a little bit of this trim here, matching in with a little bit of beige. The background of the napkin is beige. I'll probably do a little bit across the top too, just because it's an easy way to finish it off. I will put this one into my stash at the moment, and finish the journaling card to go inside when I decide which journal I'm going to put it in. What I'm doing right now, which I had off camera because I was holding it close to me, is I love these little trims, but I'm not a big fan of this piece of stitching that holds them together. I mean, there's some applications that you need that, and so then you leave it on. But in this particular case, because I can just add a little dab of glue onto the actual back of them, and I'm going to actually start this here at the bottom and make sure that one goes right in the corner there, and just tuck it under the edge of that doily there. Actually, the first person that I saw working with these was Charlotte. She has a YouTube channel, Charlotte Peterson, and the edge of here is okay to glue on, because this is actually the stitching seam here, so you don't need to worry. Plus, I mean, I do have the pad in there too, so if I happen to go over the edge, but you can see how easily this goes into place without having that extra stitching. And I don't know why, I'm just not really a big fan of that stitching on there. Just gonna curve this round here and cut that off. And I'm a big hot glue fan. I use hot glue for most of my fabric and lace application. I think it's fine when you don't use much. So that's all I'm going to do with that one right now. I'll probably, you know, complete it more later. I'll just pull this out for now, but you can see that it's perfectly open there. You can see through the back of it and my fingers that it's all open, and the front is is mainly decorated. I can do some more decoration on it, like I said, when I decide where I want to put it and what I might want to add to it. I might add a butterfly on there, put some stickles on the flowers just to make them stand out a little bit more. So that's that one done. And then this I was working on, and I wanted to show you this because I think this is very cool. I saw someone on YouTube make a journal cover using one of these bubble wrap envelopes from that your Amazon comes in, and it's plastic on this side with all their advertisement on it, and then the inside is the bubble stuff. But you can hear there, it has that cool sound, which I love that in my journals, to have different textures. When you run your hands on it, it's the bubbles. And I thought, what would that look like with napkin on it? And I don't know if you can see that. I haven't finished putting the napkin on, but the bubbles do come through onto the napkin. So it has, you can feel the bumps, you can hear the sound, and I just thought it was really cool. So I finished this up. I'm using my glue stick on this. I trialed it and it worked great because it's difficult to glue on top of those little bubbles. Well, I'll experiment with my glue stick first and see how it does. And if it works, that would be the best, because liquid glue, I feel, would run in between the bubbles, and hot glue, of course, would melt them. I know fabric tack would work. I don't have fabric tack. I've really never had a case where I've said to myself, oh gee, I wish I had fabric tack. I just never have. So I'll show you how I'm going to use it in just a second. But I just want to finish putting, I have this trim. I'm going to put that down the side of here on the napkin because I just think it looks pretty. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue because I have used it on napkins before, and I have the little tip on it because to me it's the only way to use the glue. It just comes out in the perfect amount. You just have to remember to put the pin in all the time, and thanks to Debbie McNola, I took the idea from her and I made myself a little bead thing to go on the cap so you don't lose it when you set it down. And plus you need to put the pin back in that glue because it doesn't take very long. If you leave it out, it plugs up. And then it can be a real pain to get it flowing again. This art glitter glue takes maybe a minute. It's probably not even that long. It starts to get tacky within, I would say, 20 seconds. And then within a minute, it's going to be on there pretty good and solid. I made that. And I'm just going to bring up the little journal. I'm not going to show you the whole journal yet. I'm still working on it. But it is made with the cover, the back cover and the front cover are made with gift bags. And they're just small gift bags. There's a few people have made different variations of these gift bag journals. But I just had these. I had two of this gift bag left, two that matched. And I thought, you know, I wanted to make one, so I thought I'd use them. They're quite bright colored pinks and purples, but I gessoed them down to dim them down, and then I decorated them up. I've put 3 holes in the side of the bags with my hole puncher, and I put rings through this journal, so it's on 3 rings, and then I tied a bunch of laces on the side, and this, you're getting a peek at the cover. And it's got a lot of hand crocheted flowers and appliques and different things on it. And the image I bought from an Etsy seller, and I can't think of the name of her store. I'll put it in the description box below, but she is Roxy Carr on YouTube. I think that's what her name is. I watch so many different YouTubers, but she was working on a journal with a couple of these images, and I thought they were so cute, and she was selling them in her store, so I just bought the digital and copied it. This one she's got a little bunny in her arm. She's so cute. Anyways, I'm not going to show you the whole journal. I'm just going to show you, these are the pages. some of the pages I have put embellishments on and that kind of thing. So this page has a little bit of lace down the side, and I'm going to put this here as a tuck spot. So I'm going to glue it along the edge here at the top and the bottom, and it will be a tuck spot. And you still will be able to feel the bumps, touch it, and hear it. And I think that that's cool. Now, this is the big test because, of course, hot glue on plastic is never a real smart way to go. But I think as long as I don't use a lot of hot glue, I think it will be okay. I think that, just grab a little piece of paper here and it'll work really well as a tuck spot. And then there's still the space here to journal on too. So when I'm totally finished with her, I will come back and show you this full journal. But there's an idea of some of the yumminess of it, the edges of the pages and that kind of thing. But it's coming along nicely and I'm really pleased with it. So that's one of the projects I'm working on. This is one I just finished, and this one I created from half of a file folder. I just might have one handy here. So here's the file folder, and it was half of a file folder, and then I creased it in to make 4 sections that I then began working on. So this is a digital paper. I can't remember the name of the company. The color is a little off of what it normally would print out as because my ink was starting to run out on my printer, but I like the colors, so I decided to go with that. And so it's a Hummingbird that's on here, and then there's an applique that I've put on the front here, and some little of my crocheted butterflies sort of flying up from the corner here. The spine is with a double-sided lace, and then I did 4 little buttons with some purple crochet cotton tied in the center of them. The cover has the netting part of a lace over top of the paper and under this applique, and then there's a little bit of a trim, half of a trim at the top, and the other half of the trim is in the middle down here. So I just fussy cut it so that I could have it in 2 separate pieces. And then the back is a panel lace with flower embroidery on it. And then this ruffle lace, double-sided ruffle lace, runs all the way around the front and the back, and it has that same trim in between. And there's bits of bright pink throughout, and I just had this pink ribbon and I liked it, decided to put that on. And on the part that comes around, and this just sort of developed because I was filling and stuffing the inside, and every time I finished I put the tie on and it kind of molded on around just because of the fatness of it. But afterwards I really liked it. So that just came from, gluing papers on the inside, you'll see, and then every time I closed it, it started, the paper started to mold into that rounded effect. And then I've added crocheted flowers and butterflies and little bits of silk flowers and pieces of little bits of beads, and all sort of along the spine here and around the corner. And then I put a little hummingbird charm on there as well. And I've just put these little butterflies on the ends of the ties. It just wraps around to keep her closed. And then this is would have been the first fold on the folder, and I have put a layout on here with music paper and then a collage, 2 little doors that open up, and I just put a tie in behind the door when I mounted it onto the page so that it holds the doors shut. And these open up, and there's space in here. You could journal or write little things. I put gesso on the back of the book page so that it's easy to write on. This is one of those little tea bag holders that I was showing you before that I was working on at the beginning. Well, this is one here, and it's all been collaged on with fabric and buttons and appliques. And then there's 2 tags inside of there, and they're both got paper on the back so they can be journaled on. I'm not going to put everything back in because it takes too long. This ties shut, and then this flips, and this is would have been another of the seams on the folder, and right here. And I did put music paper and lace inside, and I stitched the whole thing around as well before I started putting all the pockets and tucks in. Then this is a tuck spot I've made here. There's a couple of journaling cards in there. This is actually a pocket with a little tag inside. And then here this is made with an envelope from the recycling bin. And then when you open it up, there is it flips up, and there is a belly band here, and there are 2 tags behind the belly band, and both of them are blank on the back, so they can be written on. And then I put a little notepad of paper in here that I just put together, and then there's just some more collaging and a little verse behind that. And then this is a little journal that is on an elastic. The cover is on it's stitched lace onto a couple of book pages, and it's quite sturdy. And this is a little pocket I made in the front, and there's a little journaling card in that pocket, and a little bit of collage work with lace and beads and a little dangle here. And the journal itself, the cover is sort of separate from the journal, so there is ties to keep it closed. All the pages that are in the journal actually are loose, and they slide in and out underneath this elastic. So you could actually, if you wanted to, keep the cover, which I've stitched separately, and then replace pages or change out the pages in this little journal. And it's filled with lots of space for writing on. It's got pockets and journaling cards and altered. This is an altered playing card. This is can flip up, so there's hidden journaling space under it, and also you could journal on the back. Just some nice washi tape, some music paper, a little bit of lace on the edge to turn the page. This is an altered paper clip that fits on here with some little beads hanging off the bottom. And this is from a really old coloring book that I've had since the kids were little, and I found it, and I really loved the little lamb, and I thought it was so cute with the little bird, so I put it in there, and I left it so someone could actually color that if they wanted, or they could journal here. There's more journaling space here, and here, a tuck spot with a little journaling card inside. And then this side is book page with some washi tape. This is a tuck spot made with some corrugated cardboard and a little snippet, and another one of my altered playing cards. More journaling space, washi tape, a pocket made with a book page, and then a little snippet journaling card, but you could write on top of the music paper or on this side, or you could write here too. Another tuck spot on the side with another journaling card in there with collage on it, and same here. This is another tuck spot, washi tape. And this is a tuck spot too. There's a little stamp in there, another journaling space, and then there's the back with some music paper. That's the back of the cover. You can see the stitching on here that I've done on the sewing machine, and a little bit of lace, and you can see the edge of the organza ribbon as it comes through, and that's what ties the book shut. And then the back of the page is another pocket with lace overlaid on top of book paper, and then another tag with an altered paper clip on it, and it is gessoed on the back, so you can write on the back of that one too. So that's the little journal that fits in another section of the folder So there's another seam there. I made a pocket here with some paper and collage work, and I stitched this pocket in. And then I put in a little piece of paper that says grateful for you. And then I made one of these journaling pockets. So I've stitched it all. Yeah, there's a napkin overlaid on white paper with a little collage here to hold it down, flip it up, and then you have all this journaling space in here as well. And that just flips into there, and it looks like a little envelope, and it's in the little pocket there. And then this on the far end was some music paper, and I put 3 butterflies on here. And they're just stickers, and some lace, and a little pin with some beads on it. And on this end was one of my little beaded butterflies dangling off here. And so when this flips over, and this flips in here, and then the whole thing just closes up. And you can see how that was straight before, this part, but over time, because this got nice and thick, and then I was still closing it when this paper was still, you know, it dry, but still very pliable. And if with paper you can mold it, and it will take on a different shape. And that's how it took on that rounded shape. That is my little altered file folder. And that's everything for me for today. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope to be back soon with another video. Bye for now.